Season 2 of the Pat and JT podcast.
Oh man, I'm here at last. The best time, always gonna be the best. Come on!
Exclusively on the Hurrdat Media Network.
One thing we all have is a birthday. Unless we play into some conspiracy theories that you believe in, that maybe people were created, not birthed.
Huh?
Didn't you think aliens? I mean, they don't have birthdays. And you feel
We
like
don't know
aliens.
that. We don't know that.
Why wouldn't aliens have birthdays?
How do we know they don't? How do we know they do?
Every living creature had a moment
Are
of
they living?
inception, like a moment that they came to life, like
You
the
came
moment
to
that
be?
they sparked.
Do we know that for sure?
Well, how would
Conspiracy theory. I'm just throwing that out there. I'm just going to set this right here.
That's not how that works.
Oh, dang it.
I'm not sure that's a conspiracy theory.
I don't understand conspiracy theories.
He wants so desperately to have one.
I just want to be like Joe one day and go, I'm just going to set this right here for y'all. So that didn't work?
No.
All right.
No. But we were talking last time you were on, Dana. We were talking about different birthdays, and I know we probably got. Do we have people we need to get to today too?
There's always going to be.
There's
people.
always going to.
She's been over there crunching numbers for a while.
Well,
So
if you want to, let's talk. Do you want to talk about the first thing first, or you want to do?
let's talk about the first thing first. 'Cause
Okay.
that was the last thing last time.
Yeah.
And we said we talk about first thing first. So
Which was-
I'm already in that zone.
Let's do it.
Let's do
so
the
we were
zone.
talking Albert Einstein and Tesla. And Tesla is just like a fascinating person to me, just all around, and the connections and time travel and
He
free
would-
energy and
He would love to hear that if he were alive. He'd be like,
seriously,
yes.
right?
He's
And he died in a hotel room, broke
broken, sick,
and sick, and all of his secrets, everything was taken from that room, from what I understand.
Yeah, went to a museum. And later started by a family member, I believe.
Right? And so it was all pilfered through by government agencies.
Yeah.
And then they said, well, there's nothing in here. Yeah, here, you can have it back.
after
And
they
it's
took
like,
the good stuff.
right?
Yeah.
And yet we still see references to things that Tesla had talked about in his day. Albert Einstein lived at the same time,
Yeah.
which blows
It's
my
weird, yeah.
mind.
Were they buddies?
This was the interesting part, because she wanted to kind of dig into this. That's why we didn't get into it last time, because there's a lot here.
Tesla didn't have a lot of friends.
Yeah.
He was kind of paranoid.
Yeah.
Rightly so. I mean, everybody.
Well, yeah, if
wanted
the
to
government's
steal his-
going
They
through your
wanted his
stuff, I'd
stuff.
be paranoid too. Yeah.
Well, also just his energy kind of leaned that way because of how brilliant he was.
Would you consider him kind of a Howard Hughesy guy?
I don't really know. Howard Hughes. I
wonder.
eccentric rich person, right? Basically.
well, but he wasn't rich.
No.
Just eccentric.
Yeah.
Let me look here real quick. Because when did Tesla live?
He was 7/10 of 1886. He lived for 87 years.
86, and Howard Hughes was born in 1905 to 1976. Okay, but to me that doesn't seem as odd to me as the Albert Einstein. Albert Einstein seems like he
Forever
was from
ago.
the 1700s.
Like came over with Columbus. Right, he does. He seems like forever because Albert. It's like almost like he's not even a real person.
right?
But think about the only pictures they really show of him is when he's already gray.
Yeah.
Right? But like Tesla he had his prestigious photos. Like,
Yes.
yeah. So it was a little
his youth
different.
and vitality, and he was younger looking. And
Yeah, they don't.
and more
There's not a
attractive.
ton of pictures of him. Like when someone showcases him, they showcase him young. When they showcase Albert, they showcase him older.
Yeah.
True.
So
Very true, yeah.
you would think that just because of that, it would throw you off.
Well, that's probably why that I think when I see Albert Einstein in my mind's eye, he is old. I mean, but those are all the pictures I'd ever seen of him. And Tesla also, though, Tesla in my mind was probably in the 1800s, not the 1900s. You know, I'm thinking, but the 1800s weren't that far. But it's like that World's Fair inventor.
Yeah.
He's trying to come up with all these new concepts. Same with Einstein, like light bulb, electricity, and
Like Barnum. Like you think about
Right.
Barnum when you think about Tesla. Like
So what? Okay, so for idiots like me, what was Tesla? No, what did he come up with? What did he create? What did
AC.
air conditioner? Okay.
No.
Oh.
AC,
AC is in
electricity.
DC.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah,
He was AC. Edison was DC. Edison
right.
put down AC.
So it's like AM versus FM.
And he was attached to radio.
Really?
So Tesla was a big
Tesla
part of
was
radio.
a big part of radio. Yeah.
Big part of radio. He could turn lights on like 250 miles away or something like that.
He did that whole experiment.
Well, wirelessly.
That's crazy.
Where he
Yeah.
would put light bulbs in the ground.
Yeah.
And then he would have one of his interns essentially throw the switch to see and transmit electricity. What he promised for people to a degree was free energy, a way to motorize your vehicles without gasoline. And create energy that everybody could have. It would be
He wanted it to be free.
There's no money in that though.
but he said everybody
I
should
wonder
have
why
it.
he was kept down.
I wonder why he was made to feel like he was crazy and people went through his stuff. There's no money in free
Because
energy.
somebody saw.
Oh, they knew he was right, so they shut him down. They had to hide him because there was no capitalism in him.
Yeah.
He just wanted to put that like as a basic. You can breathe the air, so you should have.
Well, he
Power.
recognized that there was energy all around us that could be harnessed.
So how come obviously he was a brilliant person, and it's been a minute since he was around. How come nobody else has picked up that gauntlet? And
Because there's no money in it.
They've got they own all the.
They have the information.
Yeah.
They also they can also keep us from getting sick, but there's no money in that either.
right.
Like we can be healed.
Oh, we could
Like,
go down a long little
we could be
trail
healed,
with
like-
that.
Yeah, there's no money in it.
If they give us everything, all the information that is already gathered, there is a way to improve your immune system. There are things you can do you can cure or at least reduce the symptoms of.
Everything's frequency.
But
Everything is a frequency. What separates your liver from the rest of your organs is a frequency. Everything that you consider a different part of you
yeah,
is just a different frequency. So when people get sick, what disharmony
yeah,
is in that
Right.
part of your body that's causing that?
right.
What's causing other things to thrive and other things not to? It's a frequency.
Yep.
So that's why a lot of people, if you want to go conspiracy theory, 5G, people are like, that's a frequency that they're going to pump in. And then people are like, what is that going to do to us? Right?
There's a lot of talk about that. And I
So-
think right now one of the phone companies just put out a deal where they're going to, for free, replace your phone with a new 5G phone.
Oh, they really want this.
They
to
really
launch.
want everybody to have a 5G phone.
money.
It's actually not that much faster. I mean, on T-Mobile, it's not as much faster for me in my area. Like when I'm at home, my Wi-Fi's faster than my 5G, and everybody said, "Oh, 5G, you're not even going to need your Wi-Fi at home. It's just going to be so fast." I mean, I'm not experiencing that, but
If there were enough towers everywhere.
I think
there will be.
But it's
Yeah.
failing to launch right now. I mean, they're trying to push this, but it's not moving as fast as they like. People are
There's more resistance than I think they expected.
creatures of habit, creatures of consistency, and so change is
you
generally
remember-
slow because of that.
The whole
Yeah.
analog digital, when it was trying to get everybody to switch over with their digital TVs, and you could get their little converter that you could put on because come January 18th, whatever year it was, no more analog. And then the day happened, and there were so many people going, "Where'd my TV go?"
panic.
We've been telling you for 3 years. We're switching this. We're throwing the switch. It's all
Yeah.
going to be digital. And there was panic.
Yeah. We were
Because
so sick of hearing about it. It's like, for the love of God, there's got to be, everybody has everything switched by now. And then sure enough, when that day came, people went crazy.
I can't get and I can't find an antenna.
Right.
Yeah.
People don't like change. Think about when, houses in the phone, like hardwired phones.
Oh,
My mom had one up until just a couple of years ago.
okay. I still have one. Whatever. My phone still works in my house.
It's going to end up, they're going to change it till it ends up being more expensive to keep that. They'll force you out by making it too
They will.
expensive to
Right
keep
now,
it.
my bundle is better with it. Well, my bundle was better with it with my internet.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why do I need to bundle a phone? And I don't have a phone plugged into it. Okay. I don't. I
You
swear
have a
to God.
fax machine.
I don't even have that anymore.
Okay.
Well, we turned ours, I finally got her to turn it off because the only thing that called it was spammers.
Yes.
So there was literally all we did was have it ringing all day long, irritating us.
So that's where
not to answer it.
Right. That's where the fax machine came in because I had it plugged into the fax. So anybody that called got,
And they didn't care. It just made you feel like you were getting them. I got them. They didn't get it.
yes,
I
it
wish
did.
I would have thought of it.
Okay, so like, see, she's got some good ones.
I know. Right?
Okay, so Tesla, all this conspiracy, whatever,
Yeah.
free energy thing. What about Edison? Like, what was
You mean Einstein?
Einstein? Sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I mean Edison. No, what about
I said,
Einstein?
I
I
let you
didn't
down
really
that road. That was
research
my
Edison.
number.
I didn't really research Edison.
no, Einstein. Like, what was the big? Are there big conspiracy theories around
he was
him?
accused to be a spy. They said
Okay.
he was a Soviet spy. I think it was Hoover. I can't remember which
In that
president it
era.
was, but like they thought he was a Soviet
Why?
spy.
How did he spend time in Russia? Just because he was smart?
don't
Like,
even
why would they
know.
even think that?
Well, I imagine.
He's very, very smart, and he was like Tesla in the space-time thing. Like they believed in energies that couldn't be seen and things like that. So they had some similarities. He leaned much more towards humanitarian.
Okay.
Albert cared a lot about people.
Which I can't say that Tesla didn't,
Tesla cared about himself.
but he wanted everybody to have.
He did,
what
but
they,
like ultimately, like he really wanted to be recognized for what he did.
there might be the difference.
And
Is
where
Einstein,
Albert didn't care about being popular, but he naturally was magnetic. People were attracted
isn't that just
to him.
the way though? The people who don't want the attention
Get the
Yeah.
attention.
get the attention,
and-
and the ones that do are just like ah.
Yeah, it drives them nuts.
Well, and
Just never
Tesla,
enough.
he wanted the power. He wanted the positioning. He wanted the recognition. He wanted that. He didn't necessarily want to make it expensive, but he wanted it for him. So he had an arrogance about him that not a lot of people appreciated.
Mm-hmm.
His genius was kind of arrogant. So there was a difference. Albert kind of had that too, but he was so much more. He was more magnetic as far as people liking him. He was. I just saw the other day. He actually went to black colleges and taught, which was unheard of back then.
Mm-hmm.
He wanted to educate people too.
There
He
you
just
go.
wanted everyone to have rights and be equal. He leaned more on that. But no surprise, he's a master 33, which is the ultimate like in master. You know what I
Seriously.
mean? Like he was a 33. He also had a personality of a master 11, and he was rocking a bunch of humanitarian energies as well. Now his brilliant mind, his gift was in his 5, and the 5 is. They have every tab in the universe open. They have access. They can access anything they need to access. So he was tapped in, and he was accessing that information, and he was bringing it here and sharing it. He was way a bit ahead of his time as far as like not just science, but also humanitarian.
Yeah.
He was just ahead. Nikola Tesla, he had 3 master numbers as well. His soul, how he felt on the inside, was that master 22, and then he had a master 11 for his name and a master 11 for his destiny.
Remember, you've talked about this before. The master numbers.
Yeah, they're like doubling down on the experience of the single digit. So he doubled down on the 1 and the 2, and then Albert doubled down on the 1 and the 3. So, and no number is better or worse than the other. No one's more evolved or devolved. Like it doesn't matter what number you are. It's a frequency.
Okay.
It's not. There's no competition between the numbers. It's about those numbers are labels for frequency. It's just that when people double down like these guys did, it's really intense. Like when you meet somebody who's who's a 22, Rihanna.
Oh my gosh.
You see her intensity?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Very
Right?
much so, yeah.
So
Yeah.
like her passion and her intensity for whatever she's focused on is like,
It is.
Yeah.
It's like a dog with a bone. I mean, she is just like,
Yeah.
and that's what she
Totally.
And then once she's done, and then she goes to the next thing.
yeah.
It's like
Their minds don't shut off.
No.
They're always processing. And it feels like being in a pressure cooker for people with those master numbers until they understand it's self-imposed pressure. When you realize that you already came here as that frequency, you don't have to do anything to become it or earn it or,
Yeah.
you
Right.
already are it. So, but the internal pressure from feeling that you always have to do the right thing is amplified in those people.
Interesting. That's okay. I'm sitting here because I'm between the two, and I'm just kind of Googling around. There is a movie out about the two. And it's called The Current War.
Oh,
Ethan Hawke's in it.
nice
It
little
was
span of current.
And also a question that popped up on here was, what did Einstein say about Tesla? And wrote him a letter on his Tesla 75th birthday. Einstein wrote, "As an eminent pioneer in the realm of high frequency currents, I congratulate you on the great successes of your life's work."
Wow.
And that just speaks to the kind of person that he
Yeah,
was, because
he-
he would acknowledge what Tesla had done. Tesla never would have done that back to Einstein, probably.
No,
Or do you
Tesla
think?
wasn't really thinking about
He didn't think about
other
that.
people like that. he was kind of in his own little world. Like he was absorbed in whatever he was absorbed in, and the outside world, he would want people to notice what he was absorbed in.
They said they never met. No confirmed meeting. There's a rumor about a picture taken in 1921.
Well, there's 25 years difference in their ages.
Wow.
Einstein was actually younger.
Get out.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Get out. That doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah. Yeah. It's the pictures they show you. Like,
Right.
you just think of Einstein
Think
as
of that.
old.
Yeah, that's crazy.
With crazy hair,
With
right?
crazy hair
Yeah.
and a crazy look on his face.
Yep.
He's the best meme, for the crazy scientist.
Yeah.
And a smirk. And
Yeah.
the pictures of Tesla are all kind of dark.
And, well, they're regal.
Very.
Like, he's very proud, right?
Yeah.
And it's no surprise that he struggled with balance, right? Like, he had money, he had money, he had no money. He had money, he had no money. Like, he blew through it as fast as he got it, and that was part of his challenge as well. Like, he had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Almost every one of his numbers was challenged with balance.
What?
Yeah, so that's no shock that he struggled with balance.
It was either all or nothing.
Yeah,
It was just all or nothing.
yeah,
Everything was.
yeah, in all in and all, and he would push as fast and hard as he could to get people to
To see him.
support whatever he was doing. It was kind of tragic, honestly. Like he went through so much. It was like another superhero reference. Sorry. When
That's all right. It makes it real for us.
When the Hulk has Loki by the leg,
Yes.
and he's just slamming him into the concrete
Back and
and forth. That is what it's like to be out of balance
Yeah.
for somebody with these strong numbers, like these 8s and stuff that
Yeah.
he has in his chart. It's just all or none, all or none. He had money, he had no money. He
Interesting.
had support, he had no support. He had confidence, he had no confidence.
That's insane. And it said
Yeah.
his net worth when he died was $100.
Yeah, I saw when he came to New York, he had 4 cents in his pocket.
Wow.
So
So
he
he
actually
always
traveled.
had
He
that.
actually traveled quite a bit when he was younger. Saw the world, saw a lot of things, and then became an American citizen.
Isn't that great? And so where was Tesla from? Do we know that?
Currently known as Croatia.
Okay. Okay.
But it was. I feel like I can't remember the details. So I'm not a
I'll look
historian.
No, you're not. No,
So
no.
if you
It's
don't write in and go, you're so wrong.
You're dumb,
Like, you don't know enough of the details. You shouldn't be talking. Like, Google.
literally
Just
says,
Google it.
Literally says Croatia.
Yeah.
So we're
but
good.
currently Croatia. It wasn't
It
before.
wasn't
It was
then.
an Austria. I think it was part of Austria's properties at the
Okay.
time when he was born.
Okay.
It's kind of like what they did to
Serbian.
Yugoslavia and
I
all
see
that
a lot
area
of
over there.
Yeah.
There's a
And
lot
A lot
of
of stands went
a lot
away.
of stands now. Yeah, right.
I can't remember which one. I know they both might have had Serbian,
I think he was German. Einstein
some
was
kind of-
German, but
but he was
There was
Serbian. There was something about him from Serbia. He was a secular Jew, so his parents were middle class. They weren't. Yeah, there's a lot of different
Wow.
like details
That's
and information.
isn't
Yeah.
it? It's crazy. And then one other thing too that he said that Tesla did not believe in the theory of relativity. He thought it was a bunch of garbage.
Because it wasn't his idea.
There you go.
Scientists with like
Right?
egos
I mean,
like that are
it's a
just
competition.
hilarious.
Right.
Because that's like something you wouldn't think. Like that's just science of relativity just seems like huge theory of relativity, whatever it's called. Just seems such a huge thing, and it was never someone's just their idea. Like, hey, I have a thought.
Yeah, we're going to call this.
Right.
Because it always was. He didn't discover or create it. He discovered.
Right.
Right. Was that
So
was that-
likability.
Yeah.
Like, think about
There you go. Oh, my
likability.
God.
Tesla was not a likable dude,
Yeah.
but Albert was.
Yeah.
Right? So
Yeah.
you think about that and how much farther Albert was able to go because of his likability, and how stunted Tesla was because he just didn't add that
Yeah. Couldn't.
that
And he couldn't.
sociability to his just fairly arrogant.
Yeah, do you think he could?
Not in a bad way. Like, I mean, he
yeah,
obviously was brilliant. He had a right to be, but like his lack of being able to like integrate that into with some human stuff, right? Like he's
Yeah.
just not. He did not know when to balance the
I'm
give and
sure
take.
he probably had he probably never even thought of it in those terms Like it's like you
No.
as far as self-awareness.
When I look at his chart, most of his numbers are they're not terribly empathic.
Okay.
He spends a lot of time in the head. He had the potential to be empathic. It's there. But where did he actually spend his time? Not so much in that part. Yes, he wanted to bring that energy to everybody, but there was something in it for him.
Okay.
You see what I mean?
Yeah.
There's always
Absolutely.
something in it for him. So it was like, yeah. But I mean, it's kind of like one of those artists that, they do all this work and they're tortured and they're poor and starving and hungry and then they die and they go, oh, look, that's so pretty now.
All of a sudden, right?
Right?
Or the music
Yeah.
is so good now. 100%.
Yeah.
You feel bad for him because for a lot of them, they never got that recognition.
But just know that everybody came here to have an experience through these frequencies, and he chose. Every single time he made a decision, he chose to come from a place of heart-centered or a place of fear, right? Every one of us is always choosing. You never really need to feel sorry for anybody. You don't. They chose what they came here to experience. They're choosing whether it's through a more joyful place of gratitude or whether it's through fear, right? We're always choosing. You never become an observer, not an absorber, right?
Yeah.
Become the observer. You can still be highly empathic and just not. If you understand why everyone came here for their own experience, you don't have to take it on. You're not here to save them.
Mm-hmm. A quick question about Tesla.
Yeah.
His energy or whatever, is it still, wherever it is it aware of what that energy has done in previous lives? Like, is that just, if Tesla, as it is now, is a person, is he just loving it that he has this company named after him that everybody says his last
In
name?
the afterlife?
Yeah, like, is he loving the fact because it's all about him now?
If he were still, okay, so this is interesting because you're thinking about this from a human perspective. If you were just an energy perspective, like when we leave, we all become love. We just go return to source, right? Until we decide we want to come back. Yeah. He doesn't have an ego there.
He should, 'cause, man, he's dominating.
So really, it is just more like, okay, that was interesting.
He might say, hey, you know what? I want to go back and play that a little different.
That would be one.
I want to go back and play that a little different.
I can imagine having that.
He could have
sentiment.
reincarnated. He could be here now. But that doesn't mean he came here to experience the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't have to keep on we can do whatever we want, like when we choose to come here.
And right now, like you're just saying, you still have choices.
Yeah.
Every day. It's not like you are on a path.
Well, we made a blueprint, but we still have the free will of how we're going to experience what we said we wanted to, right? Yeah. So we pick our frequencies. We go, hey, I want to go to Earth and experience these frequencies. Cool. Like your higher self, when you make that plan, right? You're not coming from a place of human judgment, which is hard to break out of when you're here because you think in terms of being human.
Right.
But that, when you think about that, your higher self didn't still go, hey, let's go to Earth. Okay. And let's experience these really, really great things and then these really, let's go experience these really horrible, terrible, traumatic things. Like your higher self didn't think that in those terms. It doesn't think in that black and white or that polarized way, right? You came here for those experiences of polarity, unjudged. So that's another reason, like you don't have to feel like you don't have to take on other people's sorrow.
If some people believe in fate, that your destiny is already predetermined, and that very well. Listening to you, I believe that could be. It's how you are experiencing it.
So a loving way would be taking control of your own destiny, whereas letting the world push you around and drive for you is fate.
Right.
So when you're fearful, you let fate drive. When you're coming from a heart-centered space, you're making your own destiny.
Yeah.
Nice thoughts.
There you go. Way to end
this
on
was
that one.
fun. I want to talk more about this, honestly. We may have to. I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll have to see.
25 minutes just is not enough.
It's not.
All right, so for the next one, though, we are going to get to your guys' your birthdays, and you can text them into us at 402-403-9478. And, Dan, how can people get a hold of you in the meantime?
You can reach out to me directly. You can text or call me at 402-960-0624. I also want to tell you guys, I do work with frequency. That is the other service that I offer. So even my numerology sessions are frequency because I'm helping you understand what you came here to experience. But I even work with tuning forks. So you're getting direct frequency into your energy bodies, into your physical body.
Wow.
So that's something else called acutuning.
Okay.
So it's,
Wow.
I can use frequency like Chinese medicine where they do acupuncture, acupressure. I can actually use frequencies on those same points on your body to remove blockages.
Ooh, that's
I hear
interesting.
that.
Yeah.
That is so cool.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. I didn't even know that was a thing.
I didn't either.
Yeah.
Goosies.
I know, right? Thank you, Dana.
Thanks, Dana. It's Pat and JT, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Don't forget to text in your birthdays to 402-403-9478 for the next time Dana is on. Thanks for listening.
Pat and JT Podcast, a Hurrdat Media Production.